page 21.1. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. The parliamentary democracy as India is its executive, both at the union or the state level, has to be nominal. Within bracket, the president in the union and the governor in the states, bracket close, stand real. Within bracket, the prime minister with his council of ministers at the union and the chief minister with his council of ministers in the states. There are therefore two offices in the parliamentary system, the head of the state and the head of the government. The president at the union level and the governor at the state level constitute head of the state, in whose name there are powers but who do not exercise them. On the other hand, the prime minister with his council of ministers as at union level and the chief minister with his council of ministers at state level constitute the real executive, in whose names there are no powers but they exercise all the powers which are vested in the nominal executive. 1. The President of India. 1A. Introductory. Part 5, Chapter 1, from Articles 52 to 78 of the Constitution of India, deal with the Union Executive, that is, the President, the Vice President, the Council of Ministers and the Prime Minister. Article 52 of the Constitution reads, within inverted comma, there shall be a President of India, inverted comma close. And Article 53(1), Clause 1 says that the executive power of the Union shall be vested in the President and shall be exercised by him either directly or through officers subordinate to him in the Constitution. Article 53, Clause 2 declares the President as the Supreme Commander of the Defence Forces and the exercise of his power would be regulated by law. However, this article states that any function can be transferred to the President and permits the Parliament to confer any function to authorities other than the President. This article makes the following things clear. A. The President can exercise the executive powers of the Union himself. B. He can exercise these powers through officers subordinate to him. C. Either he or officers subordinate to him would exercise these powers in accordance with the Constitution. D. His functions can be increased by the Parliament and that the functions can be conferred on authorities other than the President. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 1. The President of India, continued. Page 21.2. The election of the President is indirect. Article 54 of the Constitution says that the President shall be elected by the members of an electoral college consisting of A. The elected members of both the houses of Parliament and B. The elected members of the legislative assemblies of the states. In this article and in Article 55, the word within inverted commas states include the National Capital Territory of Delhi and the Union Territory of Pondicherry, that is, the legislative assemblies of both Delhi and Pondicherry. Article 55 explains the manner of election of the President. Article 55 of the Constitution says, 1. As far as practicable, there shall be uniformity in the scale of representation of the different states for the election of the President. 2. For the purpose of securing such uniformity among the states inter se, as well as parity between states as a whole and the Union, the number of votes which each elected member of Parliament and of the Legislative Assembly of each state is entitled to cast at such election shall be determined in accordance with the Constitution. 3. The election of the President shall be held in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote, and the voting at such election shall be by secret ballot. Value of votes of elected members of the state legislative assemblies and both houses of Parliament are decided as per provisions of Article 55(2) of the Constitution of India. President elections of India involve proportional representation from respective states. The number of votes assigned to a particular voter from a state assembly is decided as follows: total population of the state divided by total number of elected members and into 1000. I repeat, total population of the state divided by total number of elected members into 1000. In the presidential election within bracket 2007, the figures were: total members of the legislative assemblies of the states is equal to 4,120. Total value of votes of the states is equal to 5,49,574. Total members of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha, 543 and Rajya Sabha 233, that is totally 776. Value of each vote 6,49,474 by, that is divided by 776, that is equal to 708. Total value of votes of parliament is equal to 5,49,408. The division of votes among the major two candidates was, in a table, in the horizontal line, the heads are MPs, MLAs and total. The candidates' names are Pratibha Patil, MPs, under MPs 3,12,936, MLAs 3,25,180, total 6,38,116. Another name is Bhairon Singh Sakhwat, under MPs 1,64,256, under MLAs 1,67,050, total 3,31,306. Though all the MLAs of the particular state had equal number of votes in the president election of 2007, within bracket, for example, each MLA of the total 403 MLAs of Uttar Pradesh had 208 votes each. The value of votes of each MLA varied from state to state. Within bracket, for example, in Andhra Pradesh, each MLA had 148 votes. In Bihar, each MLA had 173 votes, and so on. Bracket closed. The term of office of the President, according to Article 56, is 5 years with a provision for re-election within bracket Article 57. He can resign before the expiry of his usual term, resignation to be addressed to the Vice President, or can be removed by impeachment for violation of the Constitution in the manner as in Article 61. Article 58 prescribes the qualifications for the election as President. These are: A. Is a citizen of India. B. Has completed the age of 35 years and C. Is qualified for election as a member of the House of the People. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 1. The President of India. Continued. Page 21.3. 1. The President of India. A person who holds any office of profit is considered ineligible for the election. He has not to be a member of the either House of the Parliament or the state legislature, and if his seats into House would be regarded as vacant on the date on which he enters upon the office as the President, within bracket Article 59. Article 60 of the Constitution prescribes the oath or affirmation by the President before he takes up his job, in which he says that he would preserve, protect and defend the Constitution and the law. Article 61 prescribes the procedure for the impeachment of the President. 1. The impeachment proposal can be initiated in either House of the Parliament. 2. The proposal has to be signed by 1/4 of members of that House. 3. A 14 days notice has to be given to the President. 3. A 14 days notice has to be given to the President. 4. The House must pass the impeachment proposal by a majority of 2/3 of the total membership of that house. 5. The passed impeachment proposal bill then is sent to the other house, which as a court investigates the changes. 6. The President against whom the investigation is on has the right to appear and be presented in the House. 7. If the other House passes the resolution by a majority of 2/3 of total membership of the House, the President stands removed on the day the resolution is so passed. No person has been removed by impeachment so far. 1b. The President of India, powers and duties, executive. 1. All executive actions of the Government of India are expressed to be taken in his name, within bracket Article 77 Clause 1. All orders and instruments are to be made and executed in his name, within bracket Article 77 2 bracket closed. The President makes rules for more convenient transactions of business of the Government of India, within bracket Article 73 Clause 3 bracket closed, contracts, etc., within bracket Article 299 bracket closed. 2. All the officers of the Union are his subordinates, within inverted comma, within bracket Article 53 Clause 1 bracket closed. 3. The President has the right to be informed of the affairs of the Union, within bracket Article 78 subclause B bracket closed. 4. The President has the power to appoint 1. Prime Minister, 2. Other Union Ministers, 3. The Attorney General of India, 4. The Controller and Auditor General of India, 5. The Judges of the Supreme Court, 6. The Judges of the High Courts of the States, 7. The Governor of a State, 8. A Commission to investigate interference with water supplies, 9. The Finance Commission, 10. The Union Public Service Commission of Joint Commissions for a group of states, 11. The Chief Election Commissioner and other members of the Election Commission. Chapter 21, 1b, the President of India, powers and duties, executive continued, page 21.4. 12. A special officer for the scheduled castes and tribes. 13. A commission to report on the admission of scheduled areas. 14. A commission to investigate into the conditions of backward classes. 15. A commission of official language. 16. Special officer for linguistic minorities. 5. The President is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, within bracket 53 clause 2 bracket closed. 6. The President appoints ambassadors, high commissioners. Treaties with other countries are concluded in his name. He represents the country in the external world. He receives diplomatic representatives. Presidents of India in the chart. In the horizontal column, the heads are name and tenure. Under the name, the names are given, and under against each name, the tenure is also given. Under the head name, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, within bracket 1884 to 1963, tenure 26 January 1950 to 13th May 1962. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, within bracket 1888 to 1975. Tenure 13th May 1962 to 13th May 1967. Dr. Zakir Hussain, within bracket 1897 to 1969. Tenure 13th May 1967 to 3rd May 1969. Badhagiri Venkatgiri, within bracket 1884 to 1980. Tenure 3rd May 1969 to 20th July 1969. Acting. Justice Muhammad Hidayatullah, within bracket 1905 to 1992. Tenure 30th July, repeat, 20th July 1969 to 24th August 1969. Acting. Badhagiri Venkatgiri, within bracket 1884 to 1980, tenure 24th August 1969 to 24th August 1974. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed, within bracket 1905 to 1977, tenure 24th August 1974 to 11th of February 1979. B.D. Chatti, within bracket 1913 to 2002, tenure 11th February 1977 to 25th July 1977, acting. Nilam Sanjeeva Reddy, within bracket 1913 to 1996, tenure 25th July 1977 to 25th July 1982. Gyani Jail Singh, within bracket 1916 to 1994, tenure 25th July 1982 to 25th July 1987. R. Venkatraman, within bracket B-1910, that is birth in the year 1910, the tenure 25th July 1987 to 25th July 1992. Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma, within bracket 1918 to 1999, tenure 25th July 1992 to 25th July 1997. K.R. Narayanan, within bracket 1921 to 2005, tenure 25 July 1997 to 25 July 2002. Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, within bracket B-1931, that is birth in the year 1931, tenure 25th July 2002 to 25th July 2007. Pratibha Patil, birth 1934, tenure 25 July 2007 till date. 1C. The President of India, powers and duties. Legislative. 1. The President has the power to summon or prorogue the House of Parliament and to dissolve the lower house, within bracket Article 85. He has the power to summon a joint sitting of both the Houses of Parliament in case of a deadlock between them, within bracket Article 108. 2. The President can address both the Houses of Parliament assembled together at the first session after each general election to the House of the People and the first session of each year, and within inverted comma inform Parliament of the causes of its summons, inverted comma close, within bracket Article 87. 3. The President has the right to address either House or the joint sitting of both the Houses at any time and to require the attendance of members for this purpose, within bracket Article 86 clause 1 bracket close. 2. In addition to the right to addressing the Parliament, the Indian President has the right to send messages to either Houses of Parliament in regard to any pending bill or to the other members, and the House must then consider the message, within inverted comma with all convenient dispatch, bracket close, inverted comma close, within bracket Article 86 clause 2 bracket closed. 4. In the Council of States, 12 members are to be nominated by the President from persons having special knowledge or practical experience of literature, science, art and social service, within bracket Article 80 clause 1 bracket closed. The President is also empowered to nominate not more than 2 members to the House of the People for the Anglo-Indian community, if he is of the opinion that the Anglo-Indian community is not adequately represented in that House, within bracket Article 331 bracket closed. Chapter 21, 1C, the President of India, powers and duties, legislative. Page 21.5, continued. 5. It is the duty of the President to lay before the Parliament A. The annual financial statement, budget and the supplementary statement if any. B. The report of the Auditor General relating to the accounts of the Government of India. C. The recommendations made by the Finance Commission together with an explanatory memorandum of the action taken thereon. D. The report of the Union Public Service Commission explaining the reasons where Any advice of the Commission has not been accepted. C. The report of the Special Officer of Scheduled Caste and Tribes. F. The report of the Commission on Backward Classes. G. The report of the Special Officer for Linguistic Minorities. 6. The Constitution requires the previous sanction or recommendation of the President in introducing legislation on matters such as 1. The formation of new state or the alterations of boundaries, etc. of existing states within bracket Article 3. 2. A bill providing for any of the matter specified in Article 31A, Clause 1. 3. A money bill within bracket Article 117, Clause 1, Subclause 3. 4. A bill affecting the taxation in which the states are interested, etc. within bracket Article 274, Clause 1, Chapter 1 of Part 12. 5. State bills imposing restrictions upon freedom of trade within bracket Article 304. 7. After a bill is passed by the Parliament, the President 1. May declare his assent to the bill, or 2. May declare that he withholds his assent to the bill, or 3. May, in the case of bills other than money bills, return the bill for reconsideration of the Houses, with or without a message suggesting amendments. A money bill cannot be returned for considerations. In the case of 3. If the bill is passed again by both the Houses of Parliament, with or without amendments, and again presented to the President, it would be obligatory upon him to declare his assent to it within bracket Article 111 bracket closed. The President has the right to disallow or return for reconsideration of a state bill which may have been reserved for his consideration by the Governor within bracket Article 201. 8. The President has the power to legislate by ordinance at a time when it is not possible to have the parliamentary enactments within bracket Article 123 bracket closed. 1D, page 21.6. Chapter 21, the Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 1D, the President of India, powers and duties, judicial and miscellaneous. 1. The President has the power to grant pardons, reprieves, respites, or remissions of punishment, or suspend, remit, or commute the sentence of any person convicted by any offence within bracket Article 72, Clause 1 bracket close. 2. He has the power to make rules and regulations relating to various matters within bracket Article 77 bracket closed. 3. He has the power to give instructions to a governor to promulgate an ordinance if a bill containing the same provisions requires the previous sanction of the President under the Constitution. Within bracket Article 213 Clause 1 proviso bracket closed. 4. He has the power to refer any question of public importance for the opinion of the Supreme Court. Already 10 such references have been made since 1950 within bracket Article 143 C Chapter 22 under within inverted comma advisory jurisdiction in bracket inverted comma close bracket close. 5. He has the power to appoint certain commissions for the purpose of reporting on specific matter, such as commissions to report on the administration of scheduled areas and welfare of scheduled tribes and backward classes, the Finance Commission, Commission on Official Languages, and Interstate Council. Constitutional limitations on President's power. 1. Executive power to be exercised in accordance with the Constitution within bracket 53 Clause 1 bracket close. 2. All the ministers are to be appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister within bracket 75 Clause 1 inverted comma bracket closed. 3. President's powers are to be exercised in accordance with the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister within bracket 74 Clause 1 42nd Amendment bracket closed. 4. President may seek reconsideration of the advice sought, but he has to act in accordance with the advice tendered after such reconsideration. Within bracket Article 74, Clause 1, 44th Amendment, bracket closed. 1E. Emergency provisions. The President can declare three types of emergencies: national emergencies, Article 352, state emergency, Article 356, and financial emergency, Article 360. National emergency is caused by war, external aggression, or armed rebellion in the whole of India or a part of its territory. Such an emergency was declared in India in 1962 within bracket Indo-China War, 1965 within bracket Indo-Pakistan War, 1975 and 1977 declared by Indira Gandhi on account of internal disturbances within bracket within inverted comma bracket close. The President can declare such an emergency only on the basis of a written request by the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. Such a proclamation must be approved by the Parliament within 1 month. Such an emergency can be imposed for 6 months. It can be extended by 6 months by repeated parliamentary approvals. In such an emergency, fundamental rights of Indian citizens can be suspended. The 6 freedoms under right to freedom are automatically suspended. However, the right to life and personal liberty cannot be suspended. State emergency is declared due to failure of constitutional machinery in a state. Nearly all states have undergone this type of an emergency. This emergency is also known as President's Rule. If the President is satisfied on the basis of the report of the Governor of the concerned state or from other sources that the governance in a state cannot be carried out according to the provisions of the Constitution, he can declare emergency in the state. Such an emergency must be approved by the Parliament within a period of 2 months. It is imposed for 6 months and can last for a maximum period of 3 years with repeated parliamentary approvals every 6 months. If the emergency needs to be extended for more than 3 years, this can be achieved by a constitutional amendment, as has happened in Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir. During such an emergency, the President can take over the entire work of the executive and the governor administers the state in the name of the President. The Legislative Assembly can be dissolved or may remain in suspended animation. The Parliament makes laws on the 66 subjects of the state list within bracket C national emergency for explanation, bracket closed. All money bills have to be referred to the Parliament for approval. If the President is satisfied that there is an economic situation in which the financial stability or credit of India is threatened, he can proclaim financial emergency as per the Constitution, as Constitutional Article 360. Such an emergency must be approved by the President within 2 months. It has never been declared. A state of financial emergency remains in force until revoked by the President. In case of a financial emergency, the President can reduce the salaries of all government officials, including judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. All money bills passed by the state legislatures are submitted to the President for his approval. He can direct the states to observe certain principles within bracket economy measures, bracket closed, relating to financial matters. Page 21.72, Chapter 21, the Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 2. The Vice President of India. Article 63 of the Constitution of India provides that there shall be a Vice President of India. Article 64 and 89 Clause 1 provide that the Vice President of India shall be ex officio chairman of the Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha, and shall not hold any other office of profit. In the constitutional setup, the holder of the office of Vice President is part of the executive, but as chairman of the Rajya Sabha, he is a part of the Parliament. To be qualified for election as Vice President, Article 66 Clause 3 says a person should be citizen of India, should have completed the age of 35 years and should be qualified to be elected as a member of Rajya Sabha. The Vice President is elected by the members of an electoral college consisting of the members of both the houses of parliament in accordance with the system of proportional power representation by means of the single transferable vote. The voting at such election is done by secret ballot. All doubts and disputes arising out of to or in connection with the election of Vice President can be looked into and decided only by the Supreme Court of India, whose decision is final. The Vice President holds office for a term of 5 years from the date on which he enters upon the office. He may, however, resign from his office by writing a resignation in his hand addressed to the President of India. He may also be removed from his office by a resolution of the Rajya Sabha passed by a majority of all the then members of the Rajya Sabha and agreed to by the Lok Sabha. At least 14 days notice is necessary before such resolution is moved. Notwithstanding the expiration of his term, the Vice President continues in office till his successor assumes office within bracket Article 67. The Vice President of India is given in a table. In the horizontal column, the heads are named, and against each name, the tenure under the head tenure, the tenure is given. Now the names are: 1. Dr. Zakir Hussain, tenure 13th May 1962 to 12th May 1967. 2. Sri V.V. Giri, within tenure 13th May 1967 to 3rd May 1967. I repeat, 13th May 1967 to 3rd May 1969. 3. Dr. Gopal Swarup Pathak, tenure 31st August 1969 to 30th August 1974. 4. Sri B.B. Jatti, tenure 31st August 1974 to 30th August 1979. 5. Sri M. Hidayatullah, tenure 31st August 1979 to 30th August 1984. 6. Sri R. Venkatraman, tenure 31st August 1984 to 24th July 1987. 7. Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma, tenure 3rd September 1987 to 24th July 1992. 8. Sri K. R. Narayanan, tenure 21st August 1992 to 24th July 1997. 9. Sri Krishan Kant, tenure 21st August 1997 to 27th July 2002. 10. Sri Bhairav Singh Sakwat, tenure 19th August 2002 to 21st July 2007. 11. Sri Muhammad Hamid Ansari, tenure August 10, 2007 till date. Before Dr. Zakir Hussain, S. Radhakrishnan has occupied the office of the Vice President. Under Article 65 of the Constitution of India, the Vice President acts as President in the event of a vacancy occurring due to death, resignation or removal of the President or otherwise. The Vice President reports to his office when a new President is elected and enters upon his office. When the President is unable to act owing to his absence, illness or any other cause, the Vice President discharges the President's functions for a temporary period until the President resumes his duties. When the Vice President acts as or discharges the functions of the President, he has all the powers and immunities of the President and is entitled to the same emoluments as the President within bracket Article 65 bracket closed. However, during this period, he does not perform the duties of the office of the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha within bracket Article 64, and then the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha acts as its Chairman. As the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, the Vice President presides over the meetings of the House. As the presiding officer, the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha is the unchallenged guardian of the prestige and dignity of the House. He is also the principal spokesman of the House and represents the collective voice to the outside world. He ensures that the proceedings of the House are conducted in accordance with the relevant constitutional provisions, rules, practices and conventions, and that decorum is maintained in the House. He is the custodian and guardian of the rights and privileges of the House. Exercise 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 3. The Council of Ministers, within bracket the Cabinet and the Prime Minister, page 21.8. Articles 74, 75 and 78 of the Constitution provide for provisions relating to the Council of Ministers, Cabinet, within bracket Cabinet, and the Prime Minister. A brief summary of Articles 74 and 75 is given as the following. 1. There shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister as the head to aid and advise the President, who shall, in the exercise of his functions, act in accordance with such advice, provided that the President may require the Council of Ministers to reconsider such advice, either generally or otherwise, and the President shall act in accordance with the advice tendered after such reconsideration. 2. The question whether any, and if so what, advice was tendered by ministers to the President shall not be inquired into any court. Other provisions relating to minister are: 1. The Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President and the other ministers shall be appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. 2. The ministers shall hold office during the pleasure of the President. 3. The Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of the People. 4. Before a minister enters upon his office, the President shall administer to him the oath of office and of secrecy according to the form set out for the purpose in the third schedule. 5. A minister who for any period of 6 consecutive months is not a member of either house of the Parliament shall at the expiration of that period cease to be a minister. 6. The salaries and allowances of ministers shall be such as Parliament may from time to time by law determine, and until Parliament so determines shall be specified in the second schedule. Article 678 prescribes the duties of the Prime Minister. It says, it shall be the duty of the Prime Minister: A. To communicate to the President all decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation. B. To furnish such information relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation as the President may call for. And 3C. If the President so requires, to submit for the consideration of the Council of Ministers any matter on which a decision has been taken by a minister but which has not been considered by the Council. Page 21.9. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 3A. The Prime Minister of India. A. Reading of the above provision suggests that there has to be a Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister to aid and advise the President in the exercise of his powers. As a custodian of the Constitution, the President has to have a Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. He has to have a Council of Ministers and he has to have the Prime Minister. Furthermore, the President has to take the aid and advice and is in fact bound by that advice. For the Council of Ministers, the President has to have the Prime Minister, he has to appoint the Prime Minister, and on his advice has to appoint the other ministers, that is his Council of Ministers. Formally, the Prime Minister is appointed by the President. The President is expected to invite that person to be Prime Minister. I repeat, the President is expected to invite that person to be Prime Minister who has been elected the leader of the parliamentary party that commands an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha. But when no single political party enjoys a majority, the President has some discretion. He may invite the leader of a combination of parties claiming to be a majority in the House of the People, that is the Lok Sabha, appoint him as a Prime Minister. He has to be a member of one of the Houses of Parliament or be elected within 6 months of being appointed as Prime Minister. After the Prime Minister is appointed, he recommends to the President to appoint ministers as advised by him. In his recommendation for appointing ministers, that is the members of the Cabinet, Council of Ministers, bracket closed, the Prime Minister is usually free, that is, he unmakes his Council of Ministers and reshuffles the departments of his ministers as he likes. At least a powerful Prime Minister does so or can do so. The Prime Ministers of India in a table. In the horizontal column, the heads are name and tenure. Under the name, the names are given. Against each name, there is a tenure. Name. Under the head name, Jawaharlal Nehru, tenure, 15th August 1947 to 27th May 1964. Gulzarilal Nando, 27th May 1964 to 9th June 1964. Lal Bahadur Shastri, 9th June 1964 to 11th January 1966. Gulzarilal Nando, 11th January 1966, 24th January 1966. Indira Gandhi, 24th January 1966, 24th March 1977. Morarji Desai, 24th March 1977, 28th July 1979. Chaudhary Charan Singh, 28th July 1979 to 14th January 1980. Indira Gandhi, 14th January 1980 to 31st August 1984. Rajiv Gandhi, 31st October 1984 to 2nd December 1989. Vishwanath Pratap Singh, 2nd December 1989 to 10th November 1990. Chandrasekhar, 10th November 1990 to 21st June 1991. Narasimha Rao, 21st January 1991 to 16th May 1996. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 16th May 1996 to 1st June 1996. H.D. Devagowda, 1st June 1996 to 21st April 1997. Inder Kumar Gujral, 21st April 1997 to 19th March 1998. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 19th March 1998 to 22nd May 2004. Manmohan Singh, 22nd May 2004 to till date. The powers of the Prime Minister are enormous, and his position paramount, more so if the office is occupied by a personality larger than the life. In relation to the President, the Prime Minister acts as his advisor and a link between the Council of Ministers whose decisions he communicates to the President. In relation to the Council of Ministers, the Prime Minister is the person who makes the ministry and the one who supervises its functioning. With his resignations, the whole ministry resigns. No wonder if then he is considered central to the working of the central government. He is thus described as the captain of the ship of the state. In relation to the legislature, within bracket the parliament, bracket close, the Prime Minister is the leader of the majority political party of the parliament or the majority coalition, and as such the head of the government's chief spokesman. He leads in defending the government in the parliament, in running the administration, in getting the budget passed from the parliament. In relation to the nation, the Prime Minister is the leader of the nation by virtue of his being the leader of the parliament. In fact, his office is the office of power, and that of the President, the office of honor and respect, of Late the parliamentary or the cabinet within bracket, the Westminster model bracket closed system has become the prime ministerial form of government. To assist the prime minister, there is the prime minister office within bracket PMO headed by the principal secretary or to prime minister. The PMO includes the anti-corruption unit and the public wing dealing with grievances. It handles all important matters including policy matters and matters related to defense, administration and appointments. Chapter 21, the Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet, page 21.10, 3b, the Union Council of Ministers. The Union Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister is the real executive in India. The President exercises all his powers and performs all his functions with the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, with the Prime Minister as its head. However, the President may ask the Council of Ministers to reconsider its advice. But the reconsidered advice of the Council of Ministers has to be acted upon by the President. No court can inquire into the advice rendered to the President by the Council of Ministers. All this is contained in Articles 74 Clause 1 and 74 Clause 2. The Minister of the Council of Ministers are appointed by the President on the recommendations of the Prime Minister. Each minister is allocated a department and all the ministers work under the supervision of the Prime Minister. In a way, their individual and political responsibility is towards the Prime Minister, for no individual minister can remain in office without the wishes of the Prime Minister. All the ministers as a body are collectively responsible to the House of the People. The responsibility, called the collective responsibility, implies that the ministers work as one unit, one team. They swim and sink together. The ministers are either members of one house of the Parliament or of the other. Most of the ministers are from the House of the People, though there are members of the Rajya Sabha, within bracket Council of States, as ministers as well. Usually the Prime Minister is a member of the House of the People, but there is constitutional requirement of the Prime Minister to be so. The UPA government is headed by Dr. Manmohan Singh, is a member of the Council of States. Initially, Srimati Indira Gandhi was also a member of the Council of States when she took over as the Prime Minister in 1966. For attaining political homogeneity in a parliamentary democracy, the members of the Cabinet of Ministers belong to the majority political party, within bracket coalition. The Council of Ministers is a large body of ministers consisting of about 80 to 85 ministers. Among them, the top category, called the Ministers of Cabinet rank, consists of about 20 members or so, and which holds the charge of the important ministries. Below this category, there is a body of ministers called the Ministers of State. Some of them hold independent charge of some relatively minor department, while others are attached to the cabinet ministers. Still below is the body of ministers called the deputy ministers, each attached to the ministers of the two above categories. Parliamentary secretaries constitute still another category of ministers, which helps the top ministers in handling the affairs in the Parliament. The cabinet ministers, among all the categories of ministers, constitute an important group, though even in this group there is an intergroup called the, within inverted comma, kitchen cabinet, or the inner cabinet, inverted comma close, whose couple of ministers are the most important of all the ministers. The usual cabinet meeting is attended only by the ministers of the cabinet rank. The ministers of state, the Minister of State attend the cabinet meeting only when they are invited. The Council of Ministers works on certain features. Ministers are members of the Parliament or they become members of either house within a period of 6 months. They are collectively responsible to the lower house of the parliament. They work as a team. They belong to majority within bracket or coalition party oblique parties. The proceedings of the cabinet meetings are kept secret. All ministers work under the leadership of the Prime Minister, who presides over the cabinet meetings. The Council of Ministers performs very important functions. It formulates and determines all policies of government. It carries on the whole administration of the union government. It recommends all major appointments. It prepares and enacts the national budget. It advises the parliament on all matters of administration. It alone takes decision on the administration. It conducts and regulates foreign relations. It helps make all government legislations. The Council of Ministers work through its committee. Important committees among these are for Political Affairs Committee, Economic Affairs Committee, Appointments Committee, Parliamentary Affairs Committee. There is a cabinet secretariat headed by an administrative official called the Cabinet Secretary, who usually is the senior most civil servant, conducts and coordinates the whole administration. The executive in India: President, Prime Minister, Cabinet; Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 3C. The Attorney General and the Comptroller General and Auditor General. The Attorney General for India is the first law officer of the Government of India, whose duty according to Article 76 of the Constitution is 1. To give advice on such legal matters and to perform such other duties of a legal character as may from time to time be transferred or assigned to him by the President, and 2. To discharge the functions conferred on him by the Constitution or any other law for the time being in force. The Attorney General is appointed by the President and remains in office during the pleasure of the President. His remuneration is determined by the President. He has to have the qualifications as are required for the judges of the Supreme Court. He is not the member of any house of the Parliament and has no voting power. He enjoys all the privileges of a member of the Parliament under Article 105 Clause 4, and also the right of audience in all courts in India. According to Article 148, the Comptroller and Auditor General controls the entire financial system of the country. He is appointed by the President but is removed from office in the manner a judge of the Supreme Court is removed. He is appointed for a period of 6 years or can remain in office till the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. His major task is to audit and report on all expenditure of the Union and of each state, and audit and report on all training office departments of the Union, each state or under them. Chapter 21. The Executive in India: President, Prime Minister, Cabinet; Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Page 21.11. 4. The Government of the State. 4A. The Governor. Article 153 says that there shall be a governor for each state, whereas Article 154 says that all the executive powers of the state shall be vested in the governor, who would exercise them either himself or through officers subordinate to him. However, the governor's functions can be increased, and the parliament or the state legislature can confer by law any function to any authority subordinate to the governor. The governor is appointed by the President within bracket Article 155 bracket closed. I repeat, however, the governor's functions can be increased, and the parliament or the state legislature can confer by law any function to any authority subordinate to the governor. The governor is appointed by the President, Article 155 bracket closed. There can be one governor for two or more states within bracket Article 153. Article 156 says that the term of office for the governor is 5 years and he may continue in office till his successor enters upon his office, notwithstanding the 5-year term. The governor holds office during the pleasure of the president, who can also transfer him to any other state. Article 157 says that the person can be eligible for appointment as governor unless he is a citizen of India and has completed the age of 35 years. He is not to be a member of either house of the parliament or a house of the state legislature, and if he is so, his seat would be disregarded as his seat would be regarded as vacant. When he enters upon the office of the governor, he has also not to hold any office of profit. His oath or affirmation within bracket under Article 159 prescribes that he would preserve, protect and defend the Constitution and law. The Constitution vests in the governor all the executive powers of the state government. He or she appoints the chief minister, who enjoys the support of the majority in the Vidhan Sabha. He or she also appoints the other ministers of the Council of Ministers and distributes portfolios to them on the advices of the chief minister. He also makes other major appointments of the state. Chapter 21, the executive in India: President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. 4. The government of the state. Continued. Page 21.12. The Council of Ministers remain in the office during the within inverted comma pleasure of the governor, but in the real sense it means the pleasure of the Vidhan Sabha. As long as the majority in the Vidhan Sabha supports the government, the Council of Ministers cannot be dismissed. The governor also appoints the Advocate General within bracket Article 156 bracket closed, and the chairman and members of the State Public Service Commission within bracket Article 316 bracket closed. He or she is consulted by the President in the appointment of the judges of the High Courts, and he or she appoints the judges of the district courts. The governor has certain legislative powers as well. The governor summons the sessions of both houses of the state legislature and prorogues them. He or she can even dissolve the Vidhan Sabha. These powers are formal, and the governor, while using these powers, must act according to the advice of the Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister. He or she inaugurates the state legislature by addressing it after the assembly elections and also at the beginning of the first session every year. His or her address on these occasions is generally meant to outline the new policies of the state government within bracket Article 174, 175, 176 bracket closed. A bill that the state legislature has passed can become a law only after the governor gives his assent to it. He or she can return a bill to the state legislature if it is not a money bill for reconsideration within bracket Article 200 bracket close. However, if the state legislature sends it back to him or her for the second time, he or she has to give his or her assent to it. The governor has the power to reserve certain bills for the president. Within bracket Article 200 bracket closed, when the state legislature is not in session and the governor considers it necessary to have a law, then he or she can promulgate ordinances within bracket Article 213 bracket closed. These ordinances are submitted to the state legislature at its next session. They remain valid for no more than 6 weeks from the date the state legislature is reconvened unless approved by it earlier. To grant pardon, reprieve, remit the punishment relating to a matter to which the executive power extends is governor's judicial power within bracket Article 161. A money bill within bracket governor's financial power bracket closed is introduced in the Vidhan Sabha. Normally, the governor has to act on the aid and advice of the Cabinet Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister. However, there are situations when he or she has to act as per his or her own judgment and take decisions on his part or her own. These are called the discretionary powers of the governor. He or she exercises them in the following cases. A. In the appointment of the Chief Minister of a state, within bracket Article 164 bracket closed, when no party gets a majority in the Vidhan Sabha, the governor exercises his or her own volition and can either ask the leader of the single largest party or the consensus leader of two or more parties within bracket, that is a coalition party bracket closed, to form the government. He or she then appoints him as Chief Minister. B. In informing the President of the failure of constitutional machinery in a state, within bracket Article 356 bracket closed, the government can send a report to the President informing him or her that the governance of the state cannot be carried out as per the provisions given in the Constitution of India, and advises the President to impose President's rule in that state. Such a situation has arisen in every state. The governor then acts as an agent of the President and rules on behalf of the President. C. In reserving certain bills for the consideration of the President, within bracket Article 200, the governor can reserve bills introduced in either house of the state legislature, within bracket Vidhan Sabha or Vidhan Parishad bracket closed, for the President's consideration if he or she feels the need to do so. Like the President, it is governor who preserves, protects and defends the Constitution and the law. In normal circumstances, the governor has to act as a constitutional and nominal head thanks to the parliamentary tradition, but when emergency is declared, especially under Article 356, the governor rules the state on the dictates of the union government and in the name of the President. Within bracket, things worked well until the same political party ruled in the center and the state levels. But with different political parties in power, there arose demands for such state autonomy as well as on the role of the governor. The result, center-state tension to come different commissions. I repeat, the result, center-state tension, so come different commissions reviewing the center-state relations, bracket closed. Chapter 21, the executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Page 21.13, 4b, the State Council of Ministers, within bracket Cabinet and the Chief Minister. Article 163 of the Constitution says that there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Chief Minister as its head, to aid and advise the Governor in the exercise of his functions, except those where he exercises his discretion. It is the Governor who has to decide what is his discretion. This article also says that the advice given to the Governor by the Council of Ministers would not be questioned in any court of law. Thus, this is clear from Article 163 that the Governor in normal circumstances acts on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Normal circumstances mean circumstances where the Governor has no discretion, but where he has the discretionary powers. The Governor acts on his own. Before the Cabinet Council of Ministers is constituted, the Governor has to appoint the Chief Minister of the bracket Article 164, who is usually the person who commands the majority support in the State Legislative Assembly. After the appointment of the Chief Minister, the Governor appoints other ministers on the recommendations of the Chief Minister. The State Council of Ministers exercises all the executive power in the name of the Governor, formulates policy with regard to the state administration, makes recommendations with regard to all the major appointments in the state, carries on the state administration and helps make legislation in the state. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the state legislative assembly. The Chief Minister is like the Prime Minister at the center, the real executive head in the state. He presides over the meetings of the state cabinet, allocates departments among the state ministers, supervises their functioning. He is a link between the governor and the state council of ministers. Article 167 of the Constitution prescribes the duty of the chief minister. A. To communicate to the governor all decisions of the state council of ministers relating to administration. B. To furnish such information relating to the administration and proposal for legislation as the governor would call for. C. To submit, if the governor so requests, for the consideration of the Council of Ministers any matter on which a decision has been taken by a minister but which he has not been considered by the Council of Ministers. Page 21.14, Chapter 21. The executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises. Exercise 1. The impeachment of the President of India can be initiated in A. Either House of Parliament, B. A joint sitting of both Houses of Parliament, C. The Lok Sabha alone, and D. The Rajya Sabha alone. The correct answer is A, that is either House of Parliament. Exercise 2. If the total number of votes to be casted in the presidential election in India is 8,66,287, a minimum number of single preference votes that must be secured by a candidate for election is A. 4,33,143, B. 4,33,145, C. 5,16,223, and D. 6,01,315. The correct answer is B, that is 4,33,145. 433,145. Exercise 3. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion A and the other labeled as reason R. Assertion A. The President is part of the Parliament. Reason R. A bill passed by the two Houses of Parliament cannot become law without the assent of the President. In the context of the above two statements, which one of the following is correct? Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true, but R is not a correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Exercise 4. Which of the following shall not be considered as adequate ground for the issue of a proclamation of national emergency? A. War, B. External aggression, C. Armed rebellion, and D. Internal disturbance. The correct answer is D, that is internal disturbance. Exercise 5. If the President of India exercises his power as provided under Article 356 of the Constitution in respect of a particular state, then A. The Assembly of the state is automatically dissolved. B. Article 19 is suspended in the state. C. Parliament assumes the power to legislate on the subjects in the state list. D. Article 353 comes into force automatically. The correct answer is C. That is, Parliament assumes the power to legislate on the subjects in the state list. Exercise 6. Which of the following is the correct statement about the President of India? A. The President of India can address both Houses of Parliament, can summon the Houses of Parliament, and can send messages to either House of Parliament. B. Can summon the House of Parliament but cannot send messages to either House of Parliament. C. Can send messages to either House of Parliament but cannot summon the Houses of Parliament. D. Cannot send messages to either House of Parliament or summon the Houses of Parliament. The correct answer is A. The President of India can address both Houses of Parliament, can summon the Houses of Parliament, and can send messages to either House of Parliament. Exercise 7. Assertion A. The President of India is indirectly elected. Reason R. Under a parliamentary system, a system of government, the head of the state is only a nominal head. A. Both A and R are true, but and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is B, that is both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 8. The authority to declare war or peace under the Indian Constitution is vested in A. The Prime Minister, B. The Defence Minister, C. The Parliament, D. The President. The correct answer is D. The President. Exercise 9. Which of the following is not a constitutional prerogative of the President of India? A. Returning a legislative bill for reconsideration. B. Returning of financial bill for reconsideration. C. Dissolving the Lok Sabha. D. Summoning the Rajya Sabha. The correct answer is B, that is returning of financial bill for reconsideration. Exercise 10. Which of the annual reports the President is not duly bound to ensure that they are placed before Parliament? A. Report of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. B. Report of Union Public Service Commission. C. Report of Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes. D. Report of Atomic Energy Commission. The correct answer is report of the D is Report of Atomic Energy Commission. The correct answer is D, that is Report of Atomic Energy Commission. Exercise 11. Who among the following do not participate in the election of the President of India? A. Elected members of the Rajya Sabha. B. Elected members of the Lok Sabha. C. Elected members of the Vidhan Sabha. And D. Elected members of the Vidhan Parishads. The correct answer is the elected members of the Vidhan Parishad. Exercise 12. Assertion A. The President of India occupies almost the same position as the King or Queen of England. Reason R. The President is ultimately bound to act in accordance with the advice given by the Council of Ministers. A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. B, A and R are true. R is not the correct explanation of A. C, A is true but R is false. And D, A is false but R is true. The correct answer is A is false but R is true. Exercise 13. Assertion A. The President of India can return any bill passed by Parliament for reconsideration of the House. Reason R. The President cannot return money bills to the Parliament for reconsideration of the House. A. Both A and R are true and R is not the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. The correct explanation is B. That is both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 14. The President of India is elected by the Electoral College. Electoral College is in inverted comma, consisting of A. All members of Parliament. B. Elected members of Parliament and state legislative assemblies. C. Members of Parliament, state legislative assemblies and legislative councils. D. All the members of Parliament and state legislative assemblies. The correct answer is B. Elected members of Parliament and state legislative assemblies. The correct answer is B, that is elected members of Parliament and state legislative assemblies. Exercise 15. In case of declaration of financial emergency in India, A. All the state governments will be dissolved and managements of economy will be taken over by the union government. B. All money bills of the states will be considered and passed only by the President. C. All the state assemblies will be put under suspended animation and laws on the state placed will be enacted by the Parliament. D. The President may give such directions to the state as may be deemed necessary for economic recovery and salaries of officials may be temporarily reduced. The correct answer D. The President may give such directions to the state as may be deemed necessary for economic recovery and salaries of officials may be temporarily reduced. Exercise 16. Consider the following statements. A bill is reserved by the governor of a state for the consideration of the President. The President may 1. Give his assent to the bill. 2. Withhold his assent to the bill. 3. Veto the bill. 4. Direct the governor of the state to return it to the House for reconsideration. Which of these are correct? A. 1, 2, 3. B. 3 and 4. C. 1, 2 and 4. D 1, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is C, that is 1, 2 and 4. 1 means give assent to the bill, 2 withhold his assent to the bill, and 4 direct the governor of the state to return it to the House for reconsideration. Exercise 17. Consider the following statements. 1. All decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the Union must be communicated to the President. 2. The President can call for information relating to proposals for legislation. 3. The President can direct that any matter on which decision has been taken by a minister should be placed before the Council of Ministers. 4. The President has the right to address and send messages to the Council of Ministers to elicit specific information. Which of these is R are correct? A 1 only, B 3 and 4, C 1, 2 and 3, and D 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is C, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1 means all decisions of the councils of ministers relating to the administration of the Union must be communicated to the President. 2. The President can call for information relating to proposals for legislation. 3. The President can direct that any matter on which decision has been taken by a minister should be placed before the Council of Ministers. Page 21.15. Exercise 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises. Exercise 18. Consider the following statements. 1. The President cannot function without the Union Council of the Ministers. 2. The Solicitor General is the highest legal authority of the Union Government. 3. The Union Council of Ministers can function for some time even after death or resignation of the Prime Minister. 4. In the absence of the Prime Minister, only the Home Minister can preside over the emergency meetings of the Union Council of Ministers. Which of these is are correct? A 1 only, B 3 and 4, C 1, 2 and 4, and D 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is A 1. The correct answer is A, that is 1 only. The President cannot function without the Union Council of Ministers. Exercise 19. Assertion A. Reservation of the state bill for the assent of the President is a discretionary power of the Governor. Reason R. The President of India can disallow or return a bill passed by a state legislation for reconsideration. Both A and R are individually true, and R is the correct explanation of it. B. Both A and R are individually true, but R is not the correct explanation of it. C. A is true but R is false, and D. A is false but R is true. The correct answer is B, that is both A and R are individually true but R is not the correct expression of it. Exercise 20. Consider the following statements. 1. The President has the right to address and send messages to the Council of Ministers to elicit specific information. 2. The President can direct that any matter on which decision has been taken by a minister should be placed before the Council of Ministers. 3. The President can call for information relating to proposals for legislation. 4. All decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the Union must be communicated to the President. Which of these statements are correct? A 1, 2, 3, B 2, 3 and 4, C 1 and 4, and D 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is 1. The President has the right to address and send message to the Council of Ministers to elicit specific information. 2. The President can direct that any matter on which decision has been taken by a minister should be placed before the Council of Ministers. 3. The President can call for information relating to proposals for legislation. 4. All decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the Union must be communicated to the President. Page 21.16, Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises. Exercise number 21. Proclamation of emergency by the President of India can be made on the written advice of the Cabinet only. This provision has been added. A. After 44th Constitution Amendment. B. After 42nd Constitution Amendment. C. By the Constitutional Assembly in the Constitution of India. D. By the Supreme Court of India in 1975. The correct answer is A, that is after 44th Constitutional Amendment. Exercise 22. Consider the following statements. If the financial emergency has been declared by the President under the Article 360, then its proclamation 1 may be revoked or varied by a subsequent. 2. Shall cease to operate at the expiration of 2 months unless before the expiration of that period it has been approved by the resolution of both houses of Parliament. Which of the statements given above are correct? E/R are correct. A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both A and 1 and 2. And D. Neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C. That is both 1 and 2. That is 1 may be revoked or varied by a subsequent. 2. Shall cease to operate at the expiration of 2 months unless before the expiration of that period it has been approved by the resolution of both houses of Parliament. Exercise 23. Consider the following statements. 1. For election of the President of India, each elected member of either House of Parliament shall have such number of votes as may be obtained by dividing the total number of votes assigned to the members of the legislative assemblies of the state by the number of the members of the Lok Sabha. 2. The Vice President of India is elected by the members of an electoral college consisting of the members of both the houses of Parliament and the elected members of the legislative assemblies of such state, of each state, legislative assemblies of each state. Which of the above statements E/R correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both A 1 and 2. And D. Neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is neither 1 or not 2. That is 1. For election of the President of India, each elected member of either House of Parliament shall have such number of votes as may be obtained by dividing the total number of votes assigned to the members of the legislative assemblies of the states by the number of the members of the Lok Sabha. 2. The Vice President of India is elected by the members of an electoral college consisting of the members of both the houses of Parliament and the elected members of the legislative assemblies of each state. Which of the four above statements are correct? Both D, that is neither 1 nor 2. Exercise 24. Which of the articles of the Constitution of India are relevant to analyze the constitutional provisions that deal with the relationship of the President with the Council of Ministers? A. Articles 71, 75 and 78. B. Articles 74, 75 and 78. C. Articles 73, 76 and 78. D. Articles 72, 73 and 76. The correct answer is B, that is Articles 74, 75 and 78. Exercise 25. Consider the following statements in respect of provisions as to financial emergency. 1. A proclamation of financial emergency has to be laid before each House of Parliament. 2. A proclamation of financial emergency ceases to operate at the expiration of 6 months unless before the expiration of that period it has been approved by resolutions of both Houses of Parliament. Which of these statements given above E/R are correct? A. 1 only. 2. B. 2 only. C. Both A 1 and 2. And D. Neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is A, that is 1 only. A. 1 means a proclamation of financial emergency has to be laid before each House of the Parliament. Exercise 26. Consider the following statements. 1. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 359 of the Constitution of India does not come into operation till an order is issued by the President specifying the rights which are suspended. 2. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 358 makes the restrictions imposed by Article 19 non-existent against the state. Which of the statements given above E/R are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. And D. Neither 1 and 2. The correct answer is C, that is both 1 and 2. That is 1. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 359 of the Constitution of India does not come into operation till an order is issued by the President specifying the rights which are suspended. 2. While the proclamation of emergency is in operation, Article 358 makes the restrictions imposed by Article 19 non-existence against the state. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises, page 21.17, exercise 27, under which page 21.17, Chapter the executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises, exercise number 27, under which article of the Constitution the executive power of the Union are vested in the President. A. 52, B. 53, C. 54, and D. 55. The correct answer is B, that is 53. 28. Assertion A. The President of India is the executive head of the state. Reason R. He is the supreme commander of the defense forces. A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. B. A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is false. A is true. C. A is true. R is false. And D. A is false. R is true. The correct answer is B. That is A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 29. Assertion A. The Vice President is the Chairman of the Council of States. Reason R. He presides over the meetings of the Council of States. The correct answer is Councils of States. A and R are true, are correct. R is the correct explanation of A. B, A and R are correct. A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C, A is true, but R is false. And D, A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is D, that is A is false, but R is true. Exercise 30. Consider the following statements. 1. The Prime Minister communicates all the decisions of the Council of Ministers to the President. 2. He furnishes all information regarding administration to the President which he may call for. 3. He submits for the consideration of the Council of Ministers any matter which might not have considered by the Council. Which of the statements given above is correct? E is are correct. A 1 and 2, B 2 and 3, C 1 and 3, and D only 2. The correct answer is A, that is 1 and 2. 1. The Prime Minister communicates all the decisions of the Council of Ministers to the President. 2. He furnishes all information regarding administration to the President which he may call for. Exercise 31. Which of the following is not true with regard to the President of India? A. He presides over the meetings of the Council of Ministers. B. He is the head of the state. He is the head of the state. C. He possesses the right to grant pardon. D. He declares emergency on the written advice of the Council of Ministers. The correct answer is A. That is, he presides over the meetings of the Council of Ministers. Exercise 32. The President does not have the following power relating to the bills. He may not send the bill back to the Parliament, nor withhold it, and nor give assent to it. B. He may ask the originating House or Parliament to reconsider the bill. C. He signs the bill after the Parliament has passed the bill. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. He may not send the bill back to the Parliament I repeat, A. He may not send the bill back to the Parliament, nor withhold it, and nor give assent to it. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises. The exercise number 33. The budget is presented in the House of the People. A. By the President. B. By the Prime Minister. C. By the Finance Minister. D. By the Finance Ministry. The correct answer is C. By the Finance Minister. Exercise 34. The President is bound by the advice of the Cabinet under the following articles. A. 74 clause 1, B. 74 clause 2, C. 74 clause 3, and D. 74 clause 4. The correct answer is A, that is 74 clause 1. Exercise 35. Which of the following is the right of the President? A. He may not accept the advice. B. He may accept the advice partially. C. He may ask the Cabinet to reconsider the advice. D. He may ask for reconsideration of the reconsidered advice. The correct answer is B. He may ask the Cabinet to reconsider the advice. 36. Which of the following is true with regard to the functioning of the office of the Indian Presidency? A. He may function without the Council of Ministers. B. He may function without the Prime Minister. C. He may function without the Speaker of the House of the People. And D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. That is, he may function without the Speaker of the House of the People. Exercise 37. Which of the following is the basis for the President's impeachment? A. Loss of confidence in the House of the People. B. Proven misbehavior. C. Proven incapacity. and D. Violation of the Constitution. Correct answer is D, that is violation of the Constitution. Exercise 38. Assertion A. A candidate for Vice President must be qualified for election as a member of the Rajya Sabha. Reason R. The Vice President functions as the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. A. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. The correct answer is B. That is both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Exercise 39. In India, the Vice President is elected by an electoral college consisting of A. Members of both houses of Parliament. B. Elected members of both houses of Parliament. C. Elect members of both houses of Parliament and the state legislative assemblies. D. Members of both houses of Parliament at the legislative assemblies. The correct answer is A, that is members of both houses of Parliament. Exercise 40. The Vice President of India can be removed from the office A. By a resolution initiated in the Council of States and approved by the Lok Sabha. B. By a resolution in the Lok Sabha agreed to by the Council of States. C. By a resolution adopted by the two houses meetings in a joint session. D. Following a formal process of impeachment. The correct answer is A. By a resolution initiated in the Council of States and approved by the Lok Sabha. Exercise 41. Consider the following statements. The Vice President of India may be removed from his office by a resolution of the Council of States passed by a majority of all the then members of the Council and agreed to by the House of the People. 2. An election to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of office of the Vice President shall before the expiration of the term. 3. The Vice President shall notwithstanding the expiration of his term continue to hold office until his successor enters upon his office. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1, 2 and 3, B. 1 and 2, C. 2 and 3 and D. 1 and 3. The correct answer is A, that is 1, 2 and 3. All are since been read under exercises in page number 2118. The next is Chapter 21, the Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet, exercises, page 21.19. Exercise number 42. S. Assertion A. The Vice President presides over the meetings of the Council of States. Reason R. He is elected by the Council of States. A and R are true, but R is the correct explanation of A. B. A and R are true, R is not the explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. And D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is A. That is, A is true, R is false. Exercise 43. Consider the following statements with regard to the Vice President of India. 1. He acts as President during the absence of the President. 2. He acts as the President for the remaining period of the tenure of the President in case the President resigns. 3. While acting as President, the Vice President does not get the salary and other allowances of the President. Which of the above statement is are correct? A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. Only 3 and D. 1 and 2. The correct answer is 1 only. He acts as President during the absence of the President. Exercise 44. Which of the following is not correct with regard to the Vice President? A. His tenure is 5 years. B. He presides over the joint meetings of the Parliament. C. He can resign before the expiry of his term. D. He gives his resignation letter to the President. The correct answer is B. He presides over the joint meetings of the Parliament. Exercise 45. Which of the following is incorrect? A. The Vice Presidential candidate has to be a citizen of India. B. He must have completed 35 years of age. C. He should be qualified for election as a member of the Lok Sabha. And D. None of the above. The correct answer is C. He should be qualified for election as a member of the Lok Sabha. Exercise 46. Which of the following is constitutionally obligatory on the part of the Prime Minister of India? A. as the President is the Supreme Commander of the Defence Forces, the Prime Minister has to take all major decisions regarding defence only after prior approval by the President. B. The Prime Minister has to communicate to the President all decisions of the Cabinet relating to administration and proposals for legislation. C. As the ministers are appointed by the President, the Prime Minister has to go by presidential discretion in the allocation of business among the ministers. D. The Prime Minister, if he happens to be the leader of a party not having the required majority, should prove his majority strength in both the houses of Parliament, both the houses of the Parliament within the period stipulated by the President. The correct answer is B. The Prime Minister has to communicate to the President all decisions of the Cabinet relating to administration and proposals for legislation. Exercise 47. The question whether any and if so, what advice was tendered by the Council of Ministers to the President. A. Shall not be inquired into any court. B. May be inquired into any court, in any court. C. Shall be inquired into only by the Supreme Court. And D. May be required into the either house of Parliament. The correct answer is A. Shall not be inquired into in any court. Page 21.20, Chapter 21, the Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. The exercises. Exercise number 48. The constitutional amendment relating to the declaration of emergency within 1978 requires the President of India to act in accordance with the A. collective advice of the entire Council of Ministers, B. advice of the Union Cabinet, C. advice of the Attorney General for India, and D. advice of the Supreme Court. The correct answer is B, that is advice of the Union Cabinet. Correct answer is B, that is advice of the Union Cabinet. Exercise 49. Which of the following are the principles on the basis of which the parliamentary system of government in India operates? 1. Nominal executive level. 2. Vice President as the chairman of the upper house. 3. Real executive authority with the Council of Ministers. And 4. Executive responsibility to the lower house. A. 1, 2 and 3, B. 1, 2 and 4, C. 1, 3 and 4, D. 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is 1. The correct answer is C, that is 1, 3 and 4. 1. Nominal executive head. 3. Real executive authority with the Council of Ministers. 4. Executive responsibility to the lower house. Exercise 50. The accountability or responsibility of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to the Lok Sabha is within A. Intermittent, B. indirect, C. at the time of elections, and D. direct, continuous and collective. The correct answer is D, that is direct, continuous and collective. Exercise 51. Which of the following are included in Article 78 of the Indian Constitution defining the duties of Prime Minister? 1. To communicate to the President all decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation. 2. To take prior presidential sanction for the budget before submitting it in the Parliament. 3. To furnish the information called for by the President regarding administration of affairs of the Union. 4. If the President so requires, to submit for consideration of the Council of Ministers a matter on which a minister has taken a decision without submitting the same for consideration by the Council beforehand. A. 1 and 2, B. 1, 3 and 4, C. 2 and 4, and D. 1 and 3. The correct answer is B, that is 1, 3 and 4. 1. To communicate to the President all decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administrations of the affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation. 3. To furnish the information called for by the President regarding administration of affairs of the Union. 4. If the President so requires, to submit for consideration of the Council of Ministers a matter on which a minister has taken a decision without submitting the same for consideration by the Council beforehand. A. Exercise 52. In which of the following provisions of the Constitution of India is the principles of collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers enshrined? A. Article 75 clause 3, B. Article 75 clause A, C. Article 171 clause 4, and D. Article 118 clause 4. The correct answer is A, that is Article 75 at A. 75.3, that Article 75.3. In which of the following provisions of the Constitution of India is the principles of collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers enshrined? That is in Article 75.3, clause 3. 53. Assertion A. Collective responsibility of the Cabinet signifies unity and coordination among the members of the Council of Ministers. Reason A. It is the prerogative of the Prime Minister to select or drop a member of the Cabinet. A and R are true, are correct. A and R are correct. R is the correct explanation of A. B, A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C, A is true but R is false, and D, A is false but R is true. The correct answer is B, that is A and R are true, are correct. A and R are correct, but R is not the explanation of A. Exercise 54. Which of the following is not correct with regard to the Prime Minister? A. He heads the Council of Ministers. B. The Council of Ministers he heads is collectively responsible to the House of the People within the Lok Sabha. 3. C. He has, as per the Constitution, to be a member of the Lok Sabha. D. He is a link between the President and the Council of Ministers. C. He has, as per the Constitution, to be a member of the Lok Sabha. Chapter 21. The Executive in India: President, Prime Minister, Cabinet; Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises, page 21.21. Exercise number 55. The Cabinet form of government becomes Prime Minister. I repeat. 55. The Cabinet form of government becomes Prime Ministerial when A. The Prime Minister is first among the equals. B. He is moon among the less shining stars. C. He is neither A nor B. D. He is the leader of the Parliament. The correct answer is B, that is he is moon among the less shining stars. Exercise 56. Which of the following are included in the actual powers of the Prime Minister? 1. He makes and unmakes the government. 2. With his resignation, the whole ministry resigns. 3. He presides over the cabinet meetings. 4. He is the chief spokesman of the government. A. 1, 2, 3 and B. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. 1, 2, 3, 4 and D. 1, 3, 4. The correct answer is C, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. He makes and unmakes the government. 2. With his resignation, the whole ministry resigns. 3. He presides over the cabinet meetings. And 4. He is the chief spokesman of the government. Exercise 57. Which of the following is an important phenomenon in India's polity? A. Council of Ministers. B. Cabinet. C. A body of ministers of the state. D. A body of the deputy ministers. The correct answer is A. That is correction, Council of Ministers. Exercise 58. In India's system of government, which of the following are important in the Council of Ministers? A. Ministers of Cabinet rank. B. Ministers, though not Cabinet one, but having independent charge of ministry. C. Deputy Ministers. And D. Parliamentary Secretaries. The correct answer is A, that is Ministers of Cabinet rank. Exercise 59. Which of the following is true about the Council of Ministers in India? A. A minister has to be a member of any house at the time of becoming minister. B. He has to be a governor of state. C. He has to be president of the ruling political party. D. He has to be member of either house or become a member within 6 months. Exercise 60. The Council of Ministers is responsible to. The correct answer of 59 is D. That is, he has to be member of either house or become a member within 6 months. Exercise 60. The Council of Ministers is responsible to A. President collectively, B. Parliament, D. individually, C. Lok Sabha collectively, and D. people individually. The correct answer is C. That is Lok Sabha. Correct answer is C. That is Lok Sabha collectively. Exercise 61. Collective responsibility implies 1. Ministers work at a team. 2. Ministers collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. 3. Ministers swim together but do not sing together. 4. Members between the members sing together but they do not swim together. The members sing together but they do not swim together. The correct answer then the proposed answer is which of the above are correct? A 1 and 2, B 2 and 3, C 2, 3 and 4, and D 1 and 4. The correct answer is A, that is 1 and 2. That is 1 minister work at a team, 2 ministers collectively responsible in the Lok Sabha. Exercise 62. Mention assertion are according to the Constitution of India, the same person cannot function as the governor of 2 or more states at the same time. Reason are Article 153 of the Constitution states that there shall be a governor for each state. A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct expression of A. B. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct expression of A. C. A is true, but R is false. And D. A is false, but R is true. The correct answer is D. That is, A is false, R is true. Exercise 63. Which of the following statements with regard to the powers enjoyed by the governor of a state in India? 1. He addresses the Legislative Assembly of the state at the commencement of the first session of each year. 2. He can send message to the Legislative Assembly with respect to a bill pending in the Assembly all that time. 3. He can summon, prorogue and dissolve the Legislative Assembly of the state. 4. He can give assent to a bill to curtail the power of the state High Court. A 1 and 4, B 3 and 4, C 1 and 2, and D 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is 1. That is, he addresses the Legislative Assembly of the state at the commencement of the first session of each year. 2. He can send a message to the Legislative Assembly with respect to a bill pending in the Assembly at that time. And 3. He can summon, prorogue and dissolve the Legislative Assembly of the state. Page 21.22. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises. Exercise 64. Which of the following statements with regard to the Chief Minister of a state in India is oblique R are correct? 1. She is appointed by the governor of the state. 2. He oblique she and his her Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the governor. 3. He oblique she must communicate to the governor all the decisions of Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the state and proposals for legislation. 4. If the governor of the state so requests, the chief minister shall submit for the consideration of the council taken by a minister, but which has not been considered by the Council of Ministers. A 1, 2, 3 and 4, and B only 4, C 1, 3 and 4, and D 1 and 3. The correct answer is C, that is 1, 3 and 4. 1. He, she is appointed by the governor of the state. 3. That is, he, she must communicate to the governor all the decisions of Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the state and proposals for legislation. And 4. If the governor of the state also requests, the chief minister shall submit for the consideration of the council taken by a minister but which has not been considered by the Council of Ministers. Exercise 65. Under which article of the Constitution of India the state governor can reserve a bill for the consideration of the President? A. Article 169, B. Article 200, C. Article 201, and D. Article 257. The correct answer is B, that is Article 200. Exercise 66. Which of the following statements with respect to the legislative powers of the governor of a state are correct? 1. The governor can summon, prorogue and dissolve the state assembly. 2. The governor can adjourn the sitting of the state assembly. 3. The governor addresses the first session of the legislative assembly after elections. 4. The governor causes to lay the annual budget in the state assembly. A. 1 and 2, B. 1 and 3, C. 2 and 3, D. 2 and 4. The correct answer is B, that is 1 and 3. 1. The governor can summon, prorogue and dissolve the state assembly. 3. That is, the governor addresses the first session of the legislative assembly after elections. Exercise 67. Assertion A. Each state is headed by a governor. Reason A. The governor is elected by the electoral college consisting of the elected members of the state legislative assembly. A and R are true. R is the correct expression of A. B, A and R are true. R is not the B, A and R are true, but R is not the correct expression of A. C, A is true, but R is false. And D, A is false, R is true. The correct answer is C, that is A is true, R is false. A means each state is headed by a governor. R, the governor is elected by the electoral college consisting of the elected members of the state legislative assembly. A and R are true. R is the correct expression of A. B, A and R are true, but R is not the correct expression of A. C, A is true, R is false. D, A is false, R is true. The correct answer is C, that is A is false. A is true. C, A is true, R is false. A means each state is headed by a government. R is false. The governor is elected by the electoral college consisting of the elected members of the state legislative assembly. Exercise 68. Which of the following statements with regard to the governor is correct? 1. Governor is appointed by the president. 2. All legislative powers are vested in the governor. 3. Governor can be removed by impeachment. 4. He lays down his office after 5 years. A. 1 only. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. And D. Only 4. The correct answer is only 1. The governor is appointed by the president. Exercise 69. Consider the following statements. 1. Executive power of the state extends to the matters to which the state legislature has the power to make laws. 2. Governor General to hold office. I repeat exercise 69. Consider the following statements. 1. Executive power of the state extends to the matters to which the state legislature has the power to make laws. 2. Governor continues to hold office until his successor enters upon his office. Which of the following is correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. 1 and 2. D. Neither of the two. The correct answer is B. There is only 2. 70. Assertion A. The state of Jammu and Kashmir is one of the states of Union in India. Reason R. Article 152 says that the expression state does not include the state of Jammu and Kashmir. A and R are true. R is the correct expression of A. B. A and R are true. But R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, R is false. D. A is false, R is true. The correct explanation is C, that is A is true, R is false. Chapter 21. The Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises, page 21.23. Exercise 71. Who is the legal advisor of the Government of India? A. The Attorney General. B. The Advocate General. C. The Solicitor General. D. The Comptroller General. The correct Comptroller Auditor. The correct answer is B, that is the Advocate General. Exercise 72. Which of the statements with regard to the Advocate General is or are correct? 1. He has the qualifications to be qualified as the judge of the High Court of the state. 2. The President of India appoints the Advocate General. A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. 1 and 2. And D. Neither of the two. The correct answer is A, that is one only. He has the qualifications to be qualified as a judge of the High Court of the state. Exercise 73. Who determines the salaries and allowances of the ministers in the state? A. Parliament, B. State legislative, C. Governor, and D. Chief Minister. The correct answer is state legislative. The correct answer is B, that is state legislative. Exercise 74. The Council of Ministers in a state is collectively responsible to A. Lok Sabha, B. Parliament, C. State Legislature, and D. Legislative Assembly. The correct answer is C, that is Legislative Assembly. 75. Which of the following is not included in the powers of the state Chief Minister? I repeat, 75. Exercise 75. Which of the following is not included in the powers of the state Chief Minister? 1. He recommends the names of the appointment of the ministers in the state. He recommends the names, I repeat, 1. He recommends the names for the appointment of the ministers in the state. 2. He presides over the meetings of the State Council of Ministers. 3. He is a link between the governor and the president. 4. He communicates the decisions of the Council of Ministers to the governor. The correct proposed answers are A 123, B 124, C 134, and D 234. The correct answer is B. That is 1, 2, and 4. 1. He recommends the names of the appointment of the ministers in the state. 2. He presides over the meeting of the State Council of Ministers. 3. He is a link between the governor and the president. 4. He communicates the decisions of the Council of Ministers to the governor. The correct A 123, B 124, C 134, and D 234. The correct answer is 1, B, that is 124. 1. He recommends the names of the appointment of the ministers in the state. 2. He presides over the meetings of the State Council of Ministers. And 4. He recommends the decisions of the Council of Ministers to the governor. The correct answer is B, that is 1, 2, and 4. He recommends the names of the appointment of the ministers of the state. 2. He presides over the meetings of the State Council of Ministers. 4. He communicates the decisions of the Council of Ministers to the government. Exercise 76. The collective responsibility within inverted comma term implies that the state has A. unitary form of government, B. federal form of government, C. presidential form of government, and D. parliamentary form of government. The correct answer is D, that is parliamentary form of government. Exercise 77. During the period of emergency in a state, who acts as the agent of the president? A. the president, B. chief minister, C. governor, and D. prime minister. The correct answer is D, C, that is governor. Now I repeat this question. Exercise 77. During the period of emergency in a state, who acts as the agent of the president? A. the president, B. chief minister, C. governor, D. prime minister, and E. chief justice of the state high court. The correct answer is C, that is governor. During the period of emergency in a state, who acts as the agent of the president? The correct answer is C, that is government. Now, correct answer is C, that is the governor, not government. The correct answer is C, that is governor. Exercise 78, assertion A. The governor's report may lead to the declaration of emergency in the state. Reason R. The constitutional head of the state in the state becomes the head of the government in the state in the event of state emergency. A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. B. A and R are true, but R is not the explanation of A. C. A is true, R is false, and D. A is false, R is true. The correct answer is A, B, that is A and R are true, but R is not the explanation of A. Exercise 79. Which of the following emergencies has an initial life of 1 month? A. Emergency under Article 352. B. Emergency under Article 356. C. Emergency under Article 360, and D. none of the above. The correct answer is C, that is emergency under Article 360. Exercise 80. Who is responsible for protecting and defending the Constitution? A. the Prime Minister, B. The Chief Justice of India, C. The President of India, and D. The Supreme Court of India. The correct answer is A, that is the Prime Minister. Exercise 81. Which of the following emergencies has an upper limit of 3 years unless amendment is made? A. Emergency under Article 352, B. Emergency under Article 356, C. Emergency under Article 360, and D. None of the above. The correct answer is B, that is emergency under Article 356. The correct answer is B, that is emergency under Article 356. Exercise 82. The President of India appoints 2 Anglo-Indians in the House of People. Under which article he has this power? A. 330, B. 331, C. 332, and D. 333. Page 21.24. Chapter 21. The Executives in India: President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises. Exercise number 83. The financial emergency is declared by the President on which of the following grounds? A. War, B. Threat of war, C. Breakdown of the constitutional machinery, and D. Credit goodwill is threatened. Exercise 84. Which of the following statements? Now, in the exercise 83, the financial emergency is declared by the President on which of the following grounds? The correct answer is D, that is credit goodwill is threatened. Exercise 84. Which of the following statements is oblique are correct? 1. The President of India is a constitutional head. 2. All executive powers of the Union are vested in the President. A. Only one only. B. Only two. 3. C. 1, 2 and 1, 2 both. And D. 1, 2 both are incorrect. Exercise 85. Match list 1 with list 2 with regard to the appointment power of the President. In the horizontal column, the heads are list 1 space list 2. Under head list 1 in the vertical column, again serial number A, members of Finance Commission, B, members of Election Commission, C, members of Union Public Commission, and members of Union Public Services Commission, and members of Scheduled Caste Commission. Under list 2 in the vertical column, again serial number 1, Article 324, serial number 2, Article 338, serial number 3, Article 316, serial number 14, Article 280. 4. In the horizontal column, the headings are capital A space capital B space capital C space capital D. Under the head capital A, in the vertical column, again serial number A4, B4, C3, D3. Under capital B, in the vertical column, again serial number A1, B1, C2 and DU2. Under capital D as the head, under capital C as the head, in the vertical column, again serial number A2, B3, C1 and D4. The correct answer is D, that is capital D. In the vertical column, against serial number A3, B2, C1, C4 and D1. The correct answer is B, that is under A, members of Finance Commission, 4, that is Article 280. B, members of Election Commission, 1, Article 324. C, that is members of members of Union Public Service Commission, 3, that is Article 16. D, capital D. Under in the vertical column, again serial number A3, B2, C4 and D1. The correct answer is B, that is under A, members of, it is repeating, members of Finance Commission, 4, that is Article 280. Capital B, that is members of Election Commission, 1, that is Article 324. Capital C, that is members of Union Public Service Commission, 3, that is Article 316. Capital D, that is members of Scheduled Caste Commission, 2, that is Article 338. Exercise 86. Which of the following majority is required in each house of the parliament for passing resolution for the impeachment of the president? A. Not less than two-thirds majority of the total membership of the house. B. Not less than two-thirds majority of the members present and voting in the house. And C. Not less than three-fifths majority of the total membership of the house. D. A. And at least half of the states ratification. The correct answer is A. Not less than 23rd majority of the total membership of the house. Exercise 87. Under Article 60 of the Constitution, the President takes the oath to A. Protect, preserve and defend the Constitution. B. Defend, protect and preserve the Constitution. C. Preserve, protect and preserve, protect and defend the Constitution. D. Preserve, defend and protect the Constitution. Preserve, defend and protect the Constitution. The correct answer is C, that is preserve, preserve. The correct answer is preserve. C, that is preserve, protect and defend the Constitution. Exercise 88. Which of the following statements is oblique are correct? 1. The President has to be a member of the outer house of the... I repeat. 1. The President has to be a member of either house of the two houses. 2. The President has to have the qualifications for the election as a member of either house of either of the houses. 3. The President should be qualified as a member of the house of the members of the house of the people. The correct answers, proposed answers as A 1 and 2, B 2 and 3, C 2 only and D 3 only. The correct answer is D, that is 3 only. The 3 is the President should be qualified as a member of the House of the People. Exercise 89. Arrange the following presidents in chronological order as to who came first and who came later. 1. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed. 2. Zakir Hussain. 3. Justice Hidayatullah. And 4. APJ Abdul Kalam. The correct answer is A 3-2-1-4, B 2 3 1 and 4, C 2 1 3 and 4, and D 2 3 4 and 1. The correct answer is B, that is 2 3 1 and 4. 2 means Zakir Hussain, 3 means Justice Hidayatullah, 1 means Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed, and 4 is APJ Abdul Kalam. Exercise 90. Arrange the following vice presidents in chronological order as to whom come first and who later. 1. S.D. Sharma. 3. 2. B.D. Jatti. 3. M. Hidayatullah. And 4. V.B. Giri. A. 4 1 3 2, B 4 1 2 3, C 4 2 3 1, and D 4 3 2 1. The correct answer is C, that is 4 2 3 1. 4. V.B. Giri. 2. B.D. Jatti. 3. M. Hidayatullah. 1. S.D. Sharma. Now D. 4 3 2 1. The correct answer is C, that is 4. V.B. Giri. 2. B.D. Jatti. 3. M. Hidayatullah. And 1. S.D. Sharma. Chapter 21. Exercises. Chapter 21 means the executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises, page 21.25. Exercise 91. Which of the following statement is oblique are correct? 1. The office of the Prime Minister is that which exercises powers. 2. The office of the President is that of the office of the President is that of honor oblique respect. A. 1 only 1, B only 2, C 3, 1 and 2 both, and B, D both are incorrect. The correct answer is C, that is 1 and 2 both. 1. The office of the Prime Minister is that which exercises powers. 2. The office of the President is that of honor within the oblique respect. Exercise 92.
The correct answer is 1 and 2. The office of the Prime Minister is that which exercises power. 2. The office of the President is that of honor and respect. 92. Exercise 92. The time within bracket primus inter pair bracket close in relation to the Prime Minister implies A. The Prime Minister is least powerful in relation to the ministers. B. The Prime Minister is the most powerful in relation to the ministers. C. The Prime Minister is as powerful as is the President. D. The Prime Minister is as powerful as is the Speaker. The correct answer is A. The Prime Minister is least powerful in relation to the ministers. Exercise 93. Which of the following statements is are correct? 1. The Vice President is the Chairman of the Council of States. 2. The Vice President presides over the proceedings of the Council of States. A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. 1 and 2, and C. 1 and 2, and D. 1, 2, both are incorrect. The correct answer is A, that is only 1. Exercise 93. Which of the following statements is are correct? 1. The Vice President is the Chairman of the Council of States. 2. The Vice President presides over the proceedings of the Council of States. A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. 1 and 2 both, and D. 1, 2 both are incorrect. The correct answer is B, that is only 2. The Vice President presides over the proceedings of the Cabinet of States. The correct answer is only 2. The Vice President presides over the proceedings of the Council of States. Exercise 94. Which of the following is not true with regard to the Council of Ministers in India? A. Ministers belong to the House of the People. B. Finance Minister has to be from the Council of States. C. Ministers keep secrecy of the proceedings of the Cabinet. And D. Ministers are correctly responsible to the House of the Parliament, House of the People. A. 1 and 2, B. 2 and 3, C. 3 and 4, and D. 1 and 4. The correct answer is C, that is 3 and 4. Correct answer is C, that is 3 and 4. A, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 3 and 4 means ministers keep secrecy of the proceedings of the Cabinet, and D. Ministers are collectively responsible to the House of the People. Exercise 95. Which of the following is a feature of the parliamentary system in India? A. Ministers are responsible collectively to the President. B. They are members of the Houses of the People only. C. They work at one unit, swim and sing together. And D. They swim together but sing individually. The correct answer is C. That is, they work as one unit. They work as one unit, swim and sing together. Exercise 96. The Attorney General's remuneration is determined by the A. Parliament, B. Prime Minister, C. President, and D. Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India. The correct answer is C, that is President. Exercise 97. Who rules the state in the event of declaration of emergency under Article 356? A. Prime Minister, B. Chief Minister, C. Governor, D. Chief Justices of the High Court. The correct answer is C, that is Governor. Exercise 98. Match list 1 with list 2 with regard to the powers of the Governor. In the horizontal column, the heads are list 1 and list 2. Under the head list 1 in the vertical column against serial number capital A, Article 164 against serial number capital B, Article 356 against serial number capital C, Article 200 against serial number capital D, Article 174. Under list 2 as head, in the vertical column against serial number 1, appointment of the Chief Minister, serial number 2, power of the Governor to send report to the President regarding failure of constitutional machinery. 3. Governor's right to summon legislature. 4. Governor's power to reserve one state bill for the consideration of the President. 4. In the horizontal column, capital A space, capital B space, capital C space, capital D, under capital A as head. In the vertical column against serial number A1, B1, C2 and D2. Under capital B2, that is under capital B in the vertical column against serial number A2, B2, C1 and D1. Under capital C in the vertical column again serial number A4, B3, C3, D1. Under capital D in the vertical column again serial number A3, B4, C4 and D4. The correct answer is A. That is under A. Article 164, 1. Appointment of the Chief Minister. Capital B, that is Article 356, 2. That is a power of the government to send report to the President regarding failure of constitutional machinery. And C, that is Article 200. Governor's power to reserve the state bill for the consideration of the President. Article D, that is Article 174, 3. Governor's right to summon 2. Power of the under capital D, 2. That is power of the governor to send report to the President regarding failure of constitutional machinery. Now, I repeat the answer. Code. In the horizontal column, the headings are capital. In the horizontal column, the headings are capital A, capital B, capital C, capital. Under the capital head, capital A, in the vertical column against serial number A1, B1, C2 and D2. Under capital B in the vertical column against serial number A2, B2, C1 and D1. Under C and capital C in the vertical column against serial number A4, B3, C3 and D1. Under capital D in the vertical column against serial number A3, B4, C4 and D4. The correct answer is A. That is under capital A, Article 164, 1, appointment of the Chief Minister. Capital B, that is Article 356, 2, that is power of the governor to send report to the President regarding failure of constitutional machinery. Capital C, that is Article 200, 4, that the governor's power to reserve the state bill for the consideration of the President. Capital D, that is Article 174, 3, that is governor's right to summon legislature. Chapter 21, the Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. The exercise number 99. Which of the following is not the power of the governor? A. Appointment of the members of the State Election Commission. B. Appointment of the members of Finance Commission. C. State Council of Ministers. And D. Advocate General. The correct answer is B. That is appointment of the members of Finance Commission. Exercise. Now, repeat. Chapter 21, the Executive in India, President, Prime Minister, Cabinet, Governor, Chief Minister, Cabinet. Exercises, page 21.26. The exercise number 99. Which of the following is not the power of the governor? A. Appointment of the members of the State Election Commission. B. Appointment of the members of Finance Commission. C. State Council of Ministers. And D. Advocate General. The correct answer is B. Appointment of the members of Finance Commission. Exercise 100. Which of the following statements is oblique are correct? 1. The term of office of the governor is 5 years. 2. He can remain in office till his successor enters upon the office of the governor. A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. 1 and 2 both. And D. 1, 2 both are incorrect. The correct answer is C. That is 1 and 2 both. 1. The term of office of the governor is 5 years. And 2. He can remain in office till his successor enters upon the office of the governor.